Hi guys, it's Lexi and welcome back to Big Ambitions. So the wait is finally over and the update 0.6 is finally live on the experimental branch. So of course, I'm really excited to try the new things out. And the most important thing, to open a factory since that's what I've been waiting for over a month. So without further ado, let's get down to business because we have quite a bit to cover. First things first, I see that they updated a bit the map and I think they added a new texture for the buildings, which I actually enjoy because it looks a bit more polished and it gives it a new fresh feeling, which I really like. And of course, in the lower Manhattan area, we will have the new three buildings which we are going to use to import raw materials for our factories. And talking about factories, we also have the new factory supply depot, which is going to be the appliance store that we are going to use to buy furniture and machines actually for our factories. So, let's take a look at what businesses we have. So I have two bookstores, two clothing stores, two fast food restaurants, and a lot of hairdressers. But what I would like to open first is a jewelry factory because jewelry, the expensive jewelry, is I think the most expensive item to buy in the game. So I would like to compare the cost of importing expensive jewelries to manufacture them in our own factory. So we do have quite a lot to do in order to open the first factory. So let's first choose a place for it. So I think my jewelry store is there. And since we are going to have a factory, I'm definitely going to open more jewelry stores now. I'm not really sure about the size. So for a factory, we will have to rent a warehouse. But I'm not really sure if the size of the warehouse impacts the capacity. So I don't know about that. I guess we will see. So let's rent a warehouse. But this one is owned by Jessica Johnson. So let's find one that is not owned by Jessica Johnson because she will definitely not rent to me. Okay, so now that we rented the warehouse, we can start a new business and choose a factory, which we are going to name Jewelry Factory. So we can differentiate them. And now that we got that open, we need to travel to the appliance store and talk to the manager so we can have the machines delivered to the factory. So now let's find a taxi and go to the factory supply store. Okay, so this is the new factory supply depot, which has all the machines that are needed in the factory. As you can see, there are a lot of different machines. Actually, if we go and sit down and talk to the manager, we can see here that we have a lot of them. So we have for food products, the baking machine, the frying machine, and also bottling machines, conveyor belts, and so on. This might be confusing in the beginning. So what you can do is use the menu, and if you scroll down and you go to factory recipes, you can choose the product. So in our case, it's going to be jewelry expensive, right? So we have here all the necessary information that we need in order to open the factory. So we will need 5 machines for them. And the raw ingredients is just going to be 2 ingredients, metal bands and uncut gems, expensive. Right, and this is the recipe. So we need the gem polishing machine, the consumer goods assembly machine, laser cutting machine, and an input and output station. And on top of that, we will also need conveyor belts in order to connect these machines. Like the input and output machines need to be connected through conveyor belts. I guess we will figure that out. So I think I'm going to get to conveyor belts for now. Okay, the consumer, so the laser cutting machine. I think I also needed the polishing machine, an output station. Where is the input station? Here, an input station. I think there was one more. Let's also get a pallet shelf and a storage shelf. Since they are here with a reason, we need somewhere to store those goods. Right. And it there was 5 machines, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. What was the fifth? Gem polishing machine. Okay. I do have the polishing machine. Oh, the consumer goods assembly machine. That's what's missing. Okay. So I think this is going to be it for now. And yeah, it will cost a lot of money to open them. So all of these machines will cost $728,000, which fortunately we have. So, okay, we made that order. I guess we will need to wait until tomorrow to receive those products, but until then we can actually use our headhunter to start looking for employees, because we will need, I think, factory employees and a couple more. If we go here to business types and look at the factory, we will need the factory workers, delivery drivers, and cleaning employees. So let's get our headhunter to start looking for factory workers, and the second one to look for delivery drivers. And here in Lower Manhattan area, we will also have the moving services. Let's actually go and visit that building as well, so we can save the contact in case we will need it. Right now, I don't really have any business that I want to move from one place to another, but in the future, you never know. Okay, so this place is pretty big. I'm just taking a look around. Okay, so they have the 2 trucks here. It basically is a big decorated warehouse with ramps. Yeah, I really like the design and what they did with this business. So let's go sit down with the moving service agent. Okay, so you can select the address from where they are going to move the furniture. We don't really have any address available right now. The moving day. You can also transfer settings apparently, and we will have the fee per item. Okay, that's good to know. We will have that contact saved for later. Now we can go back to our apartment and skip the day so we can finally get to opening our first factory. All right, so it's a brand new day, so we just need to grab something to eat. They redesigned the hover menu for the fridge, and now I don't really like that I can't see the number of food items that are in the fridge. So we will have to click on it from now on in order to see the number of products there and get something to eat. But I guess that's fine. It's not really that inconvenient. And we can actually now rest on sofas. And I think if we watch the TV, they will look for a sofa to sit on. Yeah, that's great. So now they will not simply stay and watch the TV. They can actually sit down. Okay, that's actually awesome. It's a bit early, but we just need to grab a taxi and go to the warehouse, to the factory, actually. Okay, so the furniture has arrived, and another awesome feature is that we will now have delivery spots indoors, and this is something that I really, really like. But let's get down to business and start placing these machines. Okay, so we will need the input and output station. So, um, let's see. I'm just I don't really know what I'm doing right now, so I'm just going to place them there. And I'm going to grab the other machines and see what we can do. Okay, so for the input station, we can choose which product we are going to keep in it. So for this, it's going to be cut gems expensive since we are going to manufacture expensive jewelries. So let's get this placed and we will actually Oh, okay. That's nice. We can actually make a system, but we will definitely need a lot more conveyor belts for that. So I think the input station can be actually connected to the laser cutting machine. Let's move it so we have some space. And then we can connect the laser cutting machine to the polishing machine, which is going to be connected to the output station. So, right, but we also need the assembly machine. So that's what I forgot about. So let's go get it. Okay, so I think the assembly machine now will be connected to the polishing machine, and then we will have the output station like that. I guess we could also do this, right? So we can actually save some space. And yeah, I think this is going to be our first manufacturing station. So let's also place the pallet shelf and the storage shelf. And that's it. So we can now assign our factory workers. So let's give them a uniform and let's assign them to the factory. And now we can manage their schedule. And I think this is almost settled. We will also need to go and pick up my UMC Desert, which remains abandoned on some street. So we already have a vehicle, But I would actually like to go to General US Trucks because I think we are supposed to also get a new vehicle. So let's see if it's still open, although it should be. And yeah, so this is the new Ford Courier D500, which is going to cost 72 and $500, and it will have a 40 cargo capacity compared to the freight truck, which costs $98,000 and has a 60 cargo capacity. So actually, let's pick one of these Ford Couriers and let's go set it up in our new factory. Okay, so I got the vehicle delivered without any scratches, which is awesome. So we just now have to actually assign the delivery driver to the factory, and then, well, they don't have enough skill to drive this vehicle, but that's fine. We will take a delivery driver from another warehouse and assign it to the factory. So we just need to find the delivery driver that is assigned to an UMC Desert. And just like that, we have assigned an employee. And this one we will have to move to the other warehouse so we don't disrupt our delivery services. And now the only thing left is to go and talk to the importers so we can start delivering raw materials to our factory and start manufacturing them. So for the jewelry, let's take a look at the recipes. So we will need metal bands and uncut gems, which can be imported from maritime freight line. Okay, so let's set a destination and let's go take a taxi. Yeah, so this is the new Pier area. I really like that these three buildings are close to each other. Okay, we visited this one, and I am actually going to visit the other two as well, so I can have their contacts saved. Because we will definitely open a factory for each type of product. But as you can see, it really costs a lot to open these factories. So I guess we will have to do them one by one. But luckily, my daily income is pretty high right now. So I don't really think I will wait. I will have to wait that much in order to raise the money for a new factory. Okay, and this is the last one. That's taken care of. Okay, this was a productive day. We finished, almost finished, setting up the factory. I think we only need a full-time factory employer. And we will also need to take care of the cleaning aspect. I haven't bought any cleaning station, but I will just take care of that after we set up the entire process. But for now, I will just end the day and wait for the purchasing agent to arrive. Okay, so I hired another purchasing agent. So now we just need to place the desk and computer for them. But my way is blocked. So let's move the... Okay, let's pick the hand truck. And now let's try to like We can't, apparently. Um, so let's move these boxes out of the way. And now maybe we can pick these up. So let's see, we can place it just here. And now we have also available the name of the employee. So if you hover on the chair or on the office desk, you can now see the name of the employee, which will definitely be helpful, especially for large office buildings which have a lot of employees. And we can now manage their needs better. So we will know which employee requests that mouse pad. So let's sit down our purchasing agent, and we can actually now start a contract. So we will need to call this business and start a new partnership. Okay. And the purchasing agent menu as well as the logistics manager menu have also been redesigned, and I think it's a lot easier right now to understand what's going on and set up the delivery inventory numbers for our businesses. So I really enjoy this quality of life improvement that they did. But now let's get down to business. So we will need metal bands. So let's get 50 of those for now. Maybe 100. I don't really know exactly how many of them we will need. And we will also need some gems. So let's get 100 of those. So the uncut gems will be 458 per piece, and the metal band is going to be 0.61 per piece. So it's just going to be like 458 basically. So that's going to be the cost for raw materials for each expensive jewelry. At that cost, we also need to add the wages for the factory workers, which are just two. So I don't know exactly what the output per hour will be, and I think it will depend on the skill level of that employee. But I think we can take a look and see that. But right now, okay. Right now, we don't really have any raw materials, so the manufacturing process isn't going yet. And we also need to go back to the factory and set up the output station because I only did it for the input station. Okay, so we will need to do that for each machine. So we set the laser cutting machine for uncut gems expensive, the polishing machine for expensive ones, and here it's going to be for jewelry expensive. And we don't really have to do anything for the output machine. Okay. And we can also see that the state right now is that it's not running because we are missing inventory. Because we, of course, don't have yet the raw materials for it. So, yeah, let's just wait until tomorrow until the raw materials are delivered. And then we can explore more and see the final steps to deliver these products to our business. Okay, so we are here and we have everything delivered. So it's time to open this factory. And I can see that our employees are now at their stations. And I suppose that they are working. So let's check that out. Okay, so it says that it's not running because it's missing inventory. But what inventory it's missing? We have the inventory, but we did not select the correct one, which um, should have been uncut gems. Okay, so we can actually see the employees working. That's so cool. Okay, so we have the uncut gems going into the laser cutting machine. And well, I suppose now it's cutting them. Yeah, I can see that they are slowly moving on the belt of the machine. So, it takes a bit of time. So, it takes about 30 in game minutes for one product to be manufactured. So, we definitely will need a lot more stations if we are to keep up with the demand, especially for multiple stores. I increased the game speed because I'm really curious to see the entire process of these jewelries being manufactured, and I really want to make sure that I set up everything right. Okay, so it seems that I may have gotten the entire process set up the wrong way because apparently we will need to first manufacture the polished gems through this polishing machine, and now I've connected it to the output station and we are getting polished gems. So we will need another input and output machine for the consumer goods assembly machine. So yeah, I think I'm going to go and have another trip at the factory depot store and get those machines so we can properly set up the manufacturing station. Okay, so I think I finally got the final design for our manufacturing stations for expensive jewelry. So we have here the line that produces polished gems, and then they are being taken and placed together with metal bands into the consumer goods assembly machine, and they should output, yeah, the expensive jewelry. Yeah, so it's a bit more complex than I expected. I really, had to try everything out and figure it out by myself. Since, the guides are not really telling you exactly how to place them, but, it makes sense because the recipe requires polished gems and metal bands. And, you have to get these polished gems manufactured. So here we are. We are now making expensive jewelries. And if we go to the factory menu, we can see that everything is running. So it takes a bit. So the assembly machine makes 1.9 products per hour. And the polishing machine makes 0.9 products per hour. Which means that we will probably get, at 10 hours per day, we will probably get 20 expensive jewelries, which, isn't ideal. I guess with a factory worker higher skill, we could increase this production per hour. So I think it depends on the skill of the employees, most probably. But in order to be effective, we will definitely need more lines, more production lines to get those products delivered to the stores. But I guess the final steps would be to set up the delivery through the logistics manager, which should be assigned to the factory. But I don't really have any available logistics manager right now, so we will right now. I don't want to deassign one from the warehouse, so let's go ahead and purchase and search for a logistics manager, because that will be the final step, to assign a logistics manager to the factory so we can start delivering the products to the jewelry store. And I guess that would be it. And the last thing I would like to have a look at is the interior design menu, which was also redone. So we can now have the eyedropper tool, so we can select colors, I guess. And we also have the walls tool, the floors, product selector. So we can actually, select products and it will take us to them, which is cool. We don't really have queues here, neither security. And we can actually save the layout of this warehouse as a blueprint, should we wish to do so. And we can actually also select the time of the day. Okay, yeah, this is really nice. It will definitely improve, the interior design. Okay, so I guess this was it. I really enjoyed the new factories. Even if it took me a bit to figure things out, I think I got the gist pretty much. So it wasn't really that difficult to set them up once I figured it out. So I guess that will be it for today. The save games are not compatible with the live version, so I will just, have fun and try things out as much as I can until the official release comes and we can start working on opening factories for every type of product possible. But I will definitely try to explore more the factories, especially the electronics ones, since that is going to be the most complex one. So yeah, maybe in the next video we can try to make an electronics factory together and see how that goes. And if you watched this far, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!